the Kirby Bros Podcast. I'm your host, Tanner Kirby, alongside my friends, the Xbox gamer duo, Keaton Kirby. Hey, Keaton, how are you doing, man? Hope you've been doing good.
Good. How about you?
Doing good, buddy. Doing good. Apparently, we haven't gotten enough blowback from our Last of Us conversation just yet, so I look forward to when that comes. We also have Wyatt Smith as well. I brought Wyatt on the show, Keith, because Wyatt is probably the biggest Xbox fanboy. Besides, he is the Xbox equivalent of PlayStation fanboy that I am.
You. I'm the equivalent of you.
Yeah,
That's
right.
right.
With Xbox. So I that's why I wanted Wyatt on here, because I was like, you know what, Wyatt will be able to talk about this stuff a lot easier than we will. So obviously we're here to talk about the Xbox.
Whoa.
What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do, bud?
I know some Xbox now.
I know you do. I just think Wyatt would be better at talking it more than I would, and knowing what to predict and stuff. My predictions are going to be very mundane.
Man, you're selling yourself short.
Based on my own research. So, but obviously the Xbox event is going to be on July 23rd, right?
July 23rd.
July 23rd.
Down the days.
12 noon Eastern and 9 Pacific. But it's going to be mainly dedicated to the first party exclusives that Xbox has. So, just kind of in general, what's your overall thoughts for the event? What do you think? What are you most hyped about, I guess?
Well, before we jump in real quick, sorry, I just want to jump in real quick.
Yeah, you can jump in.
We had this huge conversation about Last of Us 2 last time, and I got to clear a little bit of air.
Go ahead, clear it, boy. You know you're wrong.
I would bring my score up to, like you were saying, probably a 9 or a 10. I still find...
Oh, listen at him.
The structural story part...
Mighty have fallen.
The theme of the story, I still think narratively it collapses on itself to some extent.
Yeah.
But after listening to a couple of podcasts and stuff, I know it sounds messed up, and this is where maybe I was just thinking too broad. But if you put the horse blinders on and you just isolate it to Ellie's story and Abby's story, and then you realize how in parallel and perpendicular and intersecting them two stories are, then I kind of get where the story's coming from. Like, I understand, like, that's my biggest beef, is where I feel like the way the story's told can be extrapolated amongst every single AI ever created and or character written in after the fact.
And I agree with you on that.
I don't think that's the point of the story.
No.
So when I was thinking of that way, even though like it dragged it down a little bit for me, but I was like, you know what? That's not what the story is being told. If I just focus on these characters, and then you focus on just the gameplay itself, I'm like, it's a fantastic game. So I just wanted to say that. I mean, I still have the kind of
not that your points weren't valid or anything, but like like everything you said was absolutely true. But I think it was broad. It was a broad complaint that could be used for any game, really. And I don't think it really drawed away from the final rating of the game, in my opinion.
Correct.
But when I think of The Last of Us 2, I agree with the spoiler talk that Jeremy Johns did on his YouTube. He felt like Last of Us 2 would have been made a better Last of Us 3. And there should have been a game focusing, half of it would be Ellie and Joel. And Ellie,
the other half would be Abby, maybe.
Abby and Ellie. Because Ellie at the middle of the game would leave Joel because she would find out that she was the cure and that Joel had kept her from being something. And she would have had to realize that just because she was the cure, she wouldn't make everything okay. The Fireflies would have used her as a weapon. Because they would have had the cure and everyone else would have had to bow to her. So Joel did the right thing based on that. Because, I mean, humans are just shitty in general.
Exactly.
But then at the end of it, after you've traveled with Abby as Ellie, and maybe
you jamming there, Keaton?
Yeah,
sorry.
Over here.
My wife just got home, so I'm helping her real quick. I'm doing multitasking here. Hey, I know we're talking about Last of Us 2, but I just gotta say this. My wife did get a 5-star on Animal Crossing, That's her
I'm so proud of her. Tell her I'm so proud of her. Animal Crossing.
Tanner said he's very proud.
I am. I haven't touched it, honestly, since like 2 months ago. I mean, I randomly play with girls who want me to come visit their islands and stuff, but overall, I haven't actually played on my own island that much. Honestly, it's so demotivating going to other people's islands. It is so demotivating.
How do you just put on your dating apps that you play Animal Crossing?
No,
just get comments.
Nah, man. It's usually a girl on Facebook. They'll be like, "Hey, I'm on Animal Crossing now. You should come hang out and come visit." And I'll be like, "Ooh, slide in the DMs. Here's my Switch profile, And then I go and hang out.
That's a pretty solid pickup.
That's legit. That's on
your
legit
Tinder profile, man.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. There was I had Hinge there for. Yeah, right. I had a Hinge for a minute when I went to Myrtle Beach. And I was like, you know what? There was this girl, and she had an Animal Crossing. She was like, working my way to 5 stars, need another guy to help. But she was actually pretty cute. So I was like, hell yeah! And I messaged her and stuff, visited her island and stuff.
Well,
so it does work. It does work, believe it or not. Animal Crossing is like quarantine dating for life.
Or regardless. We went from
that really was the perfect game for quarantine.
It really is the opposite of Pokemon Go.
Yeah, back to The Last of Us 2. At the
quite a few tangents
where you played as Ellie with Abby. Yes, quite a few tangents on this podcast. After you developed and humanized Abby, that's when she finds out that Ellie knows Joel and separates and finds out where he is from that. And that's where the game ends. Like you see her calling Lev or whatever her friend and going, "I've got him." And then you do The Last of Us 2, but that's The Last of Us 3.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say this is kind of something I reflecting on this. So when Abby, her storyline is, I think, more complete than Ellie's, because I think Ellie's is unfinished. Because there's a famous line when she talks to Liv and she says, "You're my people," where she comes to a conclusion where she's just like, "I've pretty much lost everything, as in my direct friends for this, I guess, arc of redemption." And then hopefully, as if we were kind of alluding to, Ellie finds that at the end of The Last of Us 2, right? When she decides not to. And maybe she didn't realize Dina and JJ was her people. Does that make any sense? So, and that's, I get that. And I actually feel like Abby's story is more, I guess, complete to some extent. But then, when I thought about that, that's when I kind of came back to my first argument. What's stopping the rest of the wolves from killing Dina and JJ? Because Ellie did all that bull crap. And then I fall right back into that whole cycle again. I'm like, you can literally write every game after the fact because of how many people she literally murdered. But regardless, phenomenal game. Now let's talk about the superior system, the Xbox.
Yep. There you go.
God, I hate you so much. I hate you so much. Not gonna happen. So obviously this is like an E3 type event for the game. I mean, for the Xbox, Microsoft company and everything. So I wrote down a couple of different predictions that I have for the event as a whole.
Before we get into
that, I want to say, do y'all think we will get price, or do you think we'll get a release date? You know what
I think we're gonna get both.
You think you're gonna get price and release date?
I think so, because I think Xbox wants to get pre-orders started well before Sony does. Like, I have that prediction.
Supposing there's another date in August called Xbox Unboxing Day.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the release date. Price, yes. With pre-orders, yes. Release date, I feel like we'll be then.
All right, well, let's make some predictions for release date. What month y'all thinking?
I'm going November.
November. All right, Keaton?
Same thing. I think it's going to be November before Black Friday.
I think it's going to be even before that.
Really?
Yep, I'm thinking November.
They are definitely ready.
I'm thinking November. I'm thinking November or the very, very tail end of September.
Whoa, no, that's early.
That is early.
Yep. And I think this kind of goes into what my predictions are for everything. If we get release dates for all the games that are coming if we get release dates for some first party titles that are coming this in this conference or whatever, if we get first party releases, I think it'll be a common date. Like there'll be a common date of when they're going to be releasing, and then at the very end they'll be like, yeah, that date. That's when we're releasing the console.
Yeah.
I don't think it's early as September, first of all, because of COVID and all that. But
Yeah.
That would be nice.
It would.
I mean, I just think that it would be the best time to just undercut Sony and be like, hey, we're gonna release it like then.
Yeah.
We're already ready.
Yeah.
We've already manufactured the dang thing. We're ready to release it, so we're just gonna do it right
yeah,
then.
and
We're gonna undercut
Sony
them.
is doing a limited release.
Yep. And
so.
people will be like, well, I don't want to wait this out. I want the
Yeah.
next gen, so I'm gonna jump on right now.
Why did you eat lunch the other day?
Because then we got all that stuff. But I think Xbox in itself, though, is going to undercut Sony by price.
Oh yeah, I think that's gonna
Yeah.
happen. I think the digital will be equal to their probably physical on the Sony end.
Well, I mean, like, I think they'll both launch an actual 500, but I think
Yeah.
Microsoft will be taking a loss, but it'll be forcing Sony to pretty much take a loss as well.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to get market share. So, and then, like you said, the digital one. But I think, I really think, now this is a completely different, because I don't think this will be announced in this, I guess you can say, event. But the Lockhart version, which is supposed to be the digital version, I think it's
Yeah.
coming around
Mhm.
either 200 or less. And I think it's
That's
streaming.
my thoughts as well.
I think it'll be 400 and 300.
Well, see, I think Sony's will be 500 and 400, and I think Microsoft will be 5 and 2.
I think Sony's will be 500 and 400.
Well, by the way,
That's
if
mine,
Sony
though.
is 500, 400, are you going with the digital or are you going with the one that has to disk drive?
I'll probably still go with all digital for me.
All digital. I
Just
think I'm leaning
personally.
that way now as well.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, I haven't bought a physical game unless I buy a collector's edition. I don't
Yeah.
buy physical games. You
I got
GameStops
that.
are all
I
shutting
live
down
out.
and stuff. So
Yeah. I live out in the country, got some internet problems, so I'm probably gonna have to spring forward and get the full
Yeah.
full Series X so I can use
Yeah.
that disk drive.
yeah, but so does anybody want to start out with just some of their
I
in
will.
general predictions? Go for it,
I
Wyatt.
will. So I think the main
Just
thing
give us one
beyond,
of them.
But one of them,
Yeah,
definitely
we'll
Halo
just go
Infinite.
one at a time. Okay,
Definitely
so
Halo Infinite.
What
And
about
they're
Halo
going to go
Infinite?
full on for a full gameplay story reveal. The leaks so far and the expectations have pointed that it's going to be an open world single player. And I am very excited for that because one of the greatest parts Halo did originally was the missions where you got to just drive around in a Warthog and explore. And I think that's what they're going to really try to capture with this new Slipspace engine because if you recall, they released an engine trailer to show the technology they're working with, and in it was a lot of different environments on the Halo ring, and it showed animals moving around, which is something that was cut from the original Halo. So I think they're looking back at a lot of stuff that was cut and trying to go back to their roots with this game after deviating a little too much with 4 and 5. And doing it in a way that is still fresh. Because at the end of the day, despite the problems 4 and 5 had, they were still had fresh elements to them. And 343 has done a great job at keeping it fresh and not letting this franchise get stagnate. They're not afraid to deviate.
So do you think there'll be like a beta or anything that's announced?
I think, yes, I believe they'll be leaning heavily focusing on the story and the single player element, but I think at the end they're going to say, oh yeah, one more thing, multiplayer. We're not really going to show it to you much. We're just going to let you play it. Starting tomorrow, all players on Xbox One will have access to the open beta.
Do you think it'll be all
like
players
that.
on Xbox One, or do you think it'll be like everyone who has Gold or Game Pass?
Probably Game Pass.
Probably
Game Pass.
Probably
Game Pass.
Probably Game Pass. That would
That's
make
what I
me
was
get
thinking.
Game Pass because I don't have Game Pass at the time.
You need Game Pass. That's the best deal
I
in
do.
gaming.
Yeah, it is.
I think you're right, Wyatt. I think you'll probably have some type of beta or something that launches in tandem with the event itself. Honestly, I could also see them. You think they'll say that it's going to release day one for the Xbox?
I think it will be a launch title.
You do. Okay.
Yes.
Keaton, what about you? What are your thoughts on Halo 5 Guardians? Or not Halo 5
Oh,
Guardians. Was it Halo Infinite?
Yes.
Well, their intentions are to be a launch title, so they made that known. So unless they miss it, then hopefully it should be a launch. And personally, if you size it up right now, they even said Ratchet and Clank's not launched. So right now, even if Halo releases, I feel like you have.
Oh, Ratchet and Clank is not a launch?
I don't know. They haven't said. I'm just saying.
Oh, okay.
You would literally be saying that the most premium title would be there available on Xbox at launch, if that makes any sense. I know everybody would argue
You're right.
that you can play it on the Xbox One, Xbox One X, et cetera, et cetera. I get that. But I'm just saying, like, love Ratchet and Clank, but Halo is bigger to some, to extent than Ratchet and Clank is.
If we switch to video real quick, I could show you my bookcase I have that is just loaded with Halo books.
Wyatt knows all of the lore and everything with Halo, so he is fully prepared.
The Fall of Reach, man. That book was great.
One of my favorite books.
But the thing about Halo, though, is they've released 2 trailers already. Both of them phenomenal. Yes. They made a new engine for it. And it's really interesting because I was reading some stuff that engine will be, I guess, shared amongst, I guess, all the other first-party studios.
Yeah.
But the only thing about it is, of course, they're going to wait till Halo releases. And right now, all the other studios keep coming through and are already confirming Unreal 5. So they're not confirming either Slipspace. So I don't know if it's going to be proprietary just to Halo.
I could see it kind of entry things. I could see it Microsoft Studios type thing.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
The thing is, the Xbox Series X for the developer kit for it is completely the same as the Xbox One. Just they can do a lot more with it because of the hardware. So that's helping developers a lot because they don't have to refamiliarize with everything.
And I will say before diving in, because I have a lot of thoughts on Xbox and how they've positioned themselves. So like the big one we're on Halo right now is, I think Halo is day and date with the release because I think that's their big marquee. Yeah. And a lot of stuff that Wyatt just said, I agree with. Multiple, like I think the first, the campaign is really where they have to come and really hit at home because Halo 5 multiplayer was phenomenal.
Yes, it was.
The campaign is where it, I guess, dragged the whole package down.
The campaign is why I gave it a 6 out of 10.
And ironically, though, I feel like Halo has to do something almost revolutionary to the actual Halo itself because, like, I'm not saying stagnant, but you have ODST, if you include that one, what is that, 6-7 games with Reach of Halo now, and it's mostly the same kind of gameplay. I know you can't really turn first-person shooter away from most stuff.
First-person shooter, yeah.
So I think you're going to see, like, a drastic, somehow, some way, they're going to add something new that no one kind of expected in the gameplay. That's going to shake it up quite a bit. I don't know
that's
what it
is. I'm thinking it's the open world and maybe some RPG elements with tied into
that's exploration. What I was thinking. Like, this is my thought.
They could do like an Uncharted approach where it's open world but linear at the same time.
Yeah.
Open linear, what do they call it? Well, see, that's what, like, from the trailer, when he finds them in space, more or less, that was, like, my first thought was, like, how cool would it be is if you go back to that Halo and then as Master Chief, it's more or less an open world setting, and then it's actually attack it as you will kind of thing, like Breath of the Wild was.
Yeah.
And you get to go around, and let's say you're actually building your armor. Let's say you can actually beat the final boss, whatever it may be, the very beginning of the game if you're willing to try, and or you can go complete your whole, I can't even think of the armor set right now, man. I feel horrible right now.
Milner.
Yeah, Milner or whatever. Or you can go and pick up all your pieces.
See, this is why Wyatt's on the podcast.
Yeah. Or then, piece together, Master Chief's full suit and then go tackle like the final bosses. That would be really cool. Like, that would be something different.
Yeah.
Have your hub be one of the ships, USS whatever, crash on the Halo. They're, at the same time that you're building your armor set.
One of the things that 343 has done is they've listened to fans mainly about the art style, and it's returning to be more like Reach. So all the vehicles and armor customization, like, that has been released with Mega Bloks toys, like, they've showed what the new sets are going to be, and it's all inspired from how they appear in Halo Infinite. So that's really what confirms a lot of stuff. And the Marine from the trailer is in those sets, so he is going to be a big character in the campaign, which I think is cool. I'm interested in that.
Here's the big kicker about Halo, though, is Xbox cannot by no means rely on Halo. That's all I'm like. I know Halo is a marquee title, but
it's the flagship title.
Xbox needs to come out and they have to show something. Because if you think of right now, for instance, PlayStation, you have 3 marquee titles. And I'm going to say Last of Us 3, but I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say whatever Naughty Dog's next title is because
it could be Uncharted. It could be something new.
Whatever the next God of War game is from Santa Monica. I mean, and then you even have Horizon. And then, of course, you have even more from there. But you have 3 marquee titles that are, like you said, single-player driven, great character development, great story for the most part. I mean, I guess it is, like you said, opinionated and by choice how much you, I guess, enjoy the story or not.
Yeah.
But it is there. You know what I'm saying? And, like, Halo, I think, will correct that. I think this story is going to be great. I know they're going to focus on Master Chief. I know, like you're talking about the Mega Blocks, there was a leak where they had a brute that had
Locke's helmet. From
Locke's
Halo 5. So people were like, is Locke dead? And everyone's like, I hope so.
Well, that's true. But I'm just saying, like, I think they're going to focus on Chief and Cortana to some extent.
Yeah, they're going to focus on that relationship.
They're going to have I think this will be the most sizable Halo campaign there is, personally. Like, I think it's going to be very open-ended, as kind of you alluded to. But I like how Tanner said it, because the thing about Halo, I remember Halo 3, because I actually got the full 1,000 gamer score on that game. I was so excited for it. But you had to beat that campaign on Legendary.
Armor.
Yep. And you had to beat it on Legendary, and I'll tell you, that was one of the hardest things you could do. And I feel
Halo
like
really,
open
the
world
balance.
Go ahead. But I'm saying, in the open world game, I feel like that Legendary would be tough. So I can see where you can have narrative-driven aspects within the open world. You know what I'm saying? Like, how about maybe a hub-based, and then as the campaign goes through it,
they've kind of shown artwork of a UNSC base on the Halo ring. So that makes me think that could be where the direction is going. But taking back to you talking about Legendary difficulty, Halo has had difficulty with balance since Halo 1, which was the perfect single-player campaign balance. You can play the campaign on Legendary in Halo 1 and not die once, because you can learn all the mechanics, and the game isn't unfair. Halo 2 added the bullshit sniper jackals that could just one-shot you as you went around the corner in second flat. And Halo 3 and onward, the certain enemies have just had instant melees that you have no choice or chance to dodge, so they can instantly kill you that way. So I'm hoping to see some good balance in this campaign to kind of tie back into Halo 1 and how that was.
Do you want to hear a prediction from me, because you mentioned Halo 3?
Yeah.
Okay, I think they'll announce the release date for Halo Infinite, which will be probably the launch, or something. Or they'll just say, maybe they don't even announce the release date. They just say, and we're launching, and if you pre-order the game, you'll get Halo 3 remastered as a bonus.
Yeah, that could also be. They could do Halo 3 anniversary. But you were talking about.
It's already in the Master Chief Collection, though. I don't know. That's a tough.
But not the remastered version. Not fully remastered like Halo 1 and 2.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. That's true.
So we've talked about Halo for a while. Let's move on. I have one thing though, because Keaton said that PlayStation has 3 marquee titles. I have looked and found a bit of insider information reported from a Microsoft employee that they will announce a new IP that's be a narrative-driven single-player game that is supposed to compete with PlayStation games like The Last of Us, is what it's supposed to be. And no idea what studio that would be working on that. They've purchased so many that it could be a lot of studios, really. But I really see this as probably something that they could be doing, because it makes sense from a business standpoint.
Right.
Because you're like you said, they can't fully just depend on Halo. Like, they need to add some more titles. I do see this happening.
I'm going to piggyback off this real quick. I'm going to go on a big tangent. Sorry, Tanner.
Go for it. Go. Y'all keep going on these tangents. I'm enjoying it.
I've been playing Hellblade.
Right. I'm thinking we'll see Hellblade 2 gameplay. And
Ninja Theory right now is the wild card, because Hellblade came out in 2017.
Yeah.
And
they revealed Hellblade 2.
It was a small budget AAA game, and one of my favorite games this past generation. Literally number 2, I would say the top 5 is God of War. Number 1 is Breath of the Wild. Number 2 is God of War.
Right.
And I didn't play Hellblade before I played God of War. Now that I've played Hellblade, I'm literally looking at God of War like, how much did they take from this game? And it's really weird because it only came out 6 months later, but I don't know if they were like industry secrets or whatever, because like I've listened to Corey Barlog, I've listened to all this other stuff where it talked about how like they had this argument about bringing the camera in behind Kratos' back. Yep. And that's exactly how Hellblade plays. Right. I'm sitting there, and I've been playing Hellblade, and I'm like, and of course it's Norse, and I don't know, it's just one of those really interesting things where I'm sitting there like, and what I mean by this is, first of all, Ninja Theory also did Devil May Cry, which I actually really enjoyed. I know a lot of people didn't like it because it wasn't from Capcom, it was from, Japan, all that good stuff, which I loved Devil May Cry 5 as well. But I enjoyed the reboot that Ninja Theory did. So what I'm getting at is Ninja Theory, I think, has the chops to bring home a Last of Us 2 kind of experience. Now with the big budget, will it be Hellblade? That's the only thing I'm kind of, because they have the Project Mara they're working with as well, which is like a horror game. And I think they had one other.
Hellblade 2, haven't they?
Right, but I mean, I don't know if like Hellblade 2 is like
only thing they're working on, or
like the big budget in Hellblade 2. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Because if you play Hellblade 1, it's actually a very confined experience. Like it's 5 to 6 hours, really. It's not long at all. It's, by the way, that game is insane. You're talking about graphic fidelity. It literally is right behind Last of Us 2 and God of War, and it came out in 2017. I'm not even kidding. Dang. The game is phenomenal looking. It's really interesting because the employee that plays Sasuna, or whatever her name is, because she won all the awards, the Game Awards that year. She was just an employee and said, I'll play her. Phenomenal job. So, like I'm saying, that's why I say Ninja Theory is the wild card. And like, I'm really curious if they actually extrapolate Hellblade 2 into like a AAA, because even though like production value, production wise, even combat, even graphic wise, you can almost say a AAA, but the way the game is crafted, because it's literally puzzle, fight, puzzle, fight, puzzle, fight, puzzle, fight, puzzle, fight, the whole game of Hellblade. And that's not, to me, that's not like a true marquee AAA experience, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's going to bring anybody in. But if they show Hellblade 2, and let's say it looks something along the more like the long lines of God of War, that's a different thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it comes out, it's more open world. They make the combat system even more involved. They give you some kind of branch or some kind of trees for leveling up. Then you have a different story. And that's what I was saying, to me right now, Ninja Theory is kind of the wild card. Because, like, I think they have the talent to bring home something like that, for sure, kind of like what you're alluding to, Wyatt. But
I agree.
The big thing is, I do think, God, what is the initiative as the new?
Yeah, that's their new studio. I don't think we'll. What did I have in my notes for initiative?
I think it's gonna be a Perfect Dark.
That's what I said.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I have in my notes. I have Perfect Dark.
And I actually
that's definitely gonna happen.
That Perfect Dark game is going to be literally a spiritual successor of Splinter Cell, because Ubisoft is not doing it.
Yeah.
Yep. And I think it's going to be very open-ended. I think it's going to be... But here's the kicker, though. I think it's just one of the 2 projects that studio is working on. I think they're working on an original new IP, and I think that's where you'll see that teaser kind of maybe you're mentioning, is like, hey, this is coming in the future. Who knows what it's going to be, like, setting theme-wise, but, like, we're working on this, and it's going to be... Because if you remember, when that studio was founded, they said quadruple A studio. They didn't say triple A. They say, and to me, Perfect Dark doesn't sound quadruple.
It's ex-Rockstar guys and ex-Bethesda guys, from my understanding.
Yeah. Yep, and Crystal Dynamics.
And when it's the X, when it's usually the X people of a developer, they're usually the best parts of that developer.
Usually. It seems that way.
They post them, right? Well, they also took a
respawn
from Santa Monica, by the way.
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Santa Monica from God of War. So they posted quite a few from there as well. So I don't know, man. It's just, but that's just one thing. Like, and I was just kind of agreeing with why I think Microsoft has more than a few IPs.
Right.
Personally,
I think we'll get a couple. They've been sitting on them for a while now with
But
all the
no,
studios they bought. Like that's my thoughts that they've just been sitting on all this ammo because they knew that PS4 just beat out Xbox One, Jet Engine besides. And
I hate y'all so much.
Yeah. So yeah, they've been sitting on it. Phil Spencer was just loading this bandolier into his machine gun and waiting for next generation to just mow down the competition. That's just what I've gathered from this entire series of events from when the Series X was announced at the Game Awards to right now.
All right. Yeah. So do y'all want me to say a few things on my list that will probably get y'all talking?
Yes.
Well, before you,
or do you want to go for it?
I hate to say that I got to piggyback off this before he jumps in.
Yeah, go for it.
He was talking about gunner for it. I think, and this is gonna be crazy here, that they showed Game Pass, and like they're gonna have a segment about Game Pass,
Sure.
And I think they say day and date. I think they're going to show WB's Batman game.
Okay.
Not Rocksteady. Day and date releases on Game Pass. Shows the trailer.
So you think the third-party game that's been rumored is going to be the Batman game?
But here's the kicker. I think after the trailer says or shows, that's when Phil Spencer says, "And we have acquired WB." And I
don't think that's going to happen. I think that's too soon.
It is very soon, but
it is soon. But that is there's going to be a lot of mic drop moments at this, and Phil Spencer said that's what he's going for. That is a top tier mic drop for this event.
If you get Rocksteady, no, don't like. I know it was at W Montreal, Monolith. I can't remember all the studios because even the Lord of the Rings games are phenomenal games. Well, Avalanche are not going to
TT games.
But if they take in Rocksteady, if they somehow acquire Rocksteady, that right there at this point in time, until proven by other studios, that would be the number one studio in Xbox Game Studios, hands down.
Yeah.
And if they do take in, by the way, if this is announced, I definitely don't think it's going to be. And this is why I say Game Pass, because I think all the titles that WB is working on, if this somehow does come to fruition, I think will be released on all systems. By the way, so like the River Suicide Squad will be still on PS4, PS5. The Batman will still be on PS4, PS5. Whatever is in, like you said, that they're working through will be on it. But I think after those releases, that's when Microsoft says, all right, guys, I want you to focus on this new IP. I want you to focus on, or maybe they re-up with DC and say instead of Suicide Squad, we're going to do Green Lantern. I don't know what it is, but I'm just saying, I do think it will be on all systems until that current, I guess, whatever projects are out, and then it'll start
and then they'll start getting the licenses to try and get DC titles as exclusives for the Xbox, like Marvel has Spider-Man for the PlayStation.
But all right, so that was just piggyback. So let's hear your stuff, Tanner, and we'll
hit it, Papa Curb.
All right, so we're gonna get new Psychonauts 2 gameplay, obviously, from Double Fine.
Yeah.
So yours is kind of what hit on mine, the big third-party game from Xbox. But the rumor that I had been hearing that's not Batman is that it would be Cyberpunk on Game Pass.
Yeah, I have several expectations of third-party games. I'm pretty sure we're going to see Cyberpunk. I'm pretty sure we're going to see Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and I think we may see Squadrons from.
I don't think we'll see Valhalla just because of the Ubisoft event. That's like. Not long after that.
You meant like launching on Game Pass shortly after release. Is that what you meant?
Probably.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Now, probably just a little trailer like that.
I know you were continuing on. I'm just going to give you a little bit of sprinkle, thought here. I don't think it's any of those games. I think it's Elder Ring.
Okay, I can see that. I'd be happy with that.
That game hasn't shown this year. It's supposed to pretty much release this year. It's from Software. And it's literally the Bloodborne guys.
I don't think so. Then
Dark Souls guys.
From has too much of a good relationship with Sony.
Yeah, but
I could see From being the next acquisition by Sony. Honestly,
last year they came out, PS5's event didn't have anything from Software. Last year,
You're right.
Xbox did.
It did stuff from Software.
Has been doing. He was doing his. No, that's not from. It was from Software, but that's actually from Bluepoint and from
it is Bluepoint,
Tokyo, Japan.
Good point.
So,
Daddy Phil.
I think Phil has been stepping in and trying to more or less bring that in. And you got to remember something. Who's the main writer for Elden Ring? George R.R. Martin.
Right.
Yeah.
So very Western release, very Western audience, can fit perfect with the Xbox platform, and that's a big enough marquee title that you're going to have some people, for instance, who love Bloodborne, as myself, who would be like, well, I have to get an Xbox now.
Yeah.
There ain't no way that I'm missing Elden Ring. Now, again, I think that game will still release on PS5, but I'm just saying, if it comes out on Game Pass day
it's
and
Game
date,
Pass day one.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a pretty big get, you know?
Yep.
Okay,
you're right.
but sorry. Continue on. That was just that's my prediction for, I think, the third-party game that's being rumored right now. Big game.
That is a very good take. If it ain't Cyberpunk, I agree with you. It'll be Elden Ring. CD Projekt Red has had a very CDPR has had a very good relationship with Microsoft ever since Keanu was on their stage.
Yep, I agree. So I was looking at the different Xbox studios because I honestly don't know the Xbox studios that well, and I had to kind of research them and everything like that. One of them was Compulsion Games, and they made We Happy Few. So I said that they're going to have a new IP, and it'll be more.
Sorry,
more.
I got
what?
cut. I'm still here though.
Oh, I didn't even know.
Yeah, you just joined again.
Oh, I didn't even notice. That's funny.
I didn't know you left.
Yeah, it's still recording. I didn't either. But so I was looking up Xbox, as I said before. I was looking up Xbox Studios, and one that came up was Compulsion Studios. They made We Happy Few. I think they'll reveal their new IP, which I think will be like a science fiction type game or something like that.
Yeah, that's a good prediction.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to think. The Xbox have already said that all their first-party studios are working on a next-gen something.
Yeah.
So I think now is time to like at least tease their first-party game, whatever they're working on. And We Happy Few released in 2018, I believe. So that's ample amount of time.
And that had a long development cycle from the first teaser.
It did. So like I think there'll be at least a teaser from Compulsion Games on whatever it is. I don't know if it's a sci-fi game, but it'll be whatever they're working on.
One prediction I have, I want to put in here. I also think that we're going to have a heavy showcase on backwards compatibility and smart delivery, and they're going to show off this massive library of games that is going to be available to you on day one on the Series X. So it cannot be said that Series X has no games.
Are you sure? You think it'll start out with GTA 5?
It's possible.
I hope not.
It's probably gonna be Red Dead.
Red Dead Redemption 2. Yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, it'll show the Rockstar logo, and we'll be like, "Oh shit, it's something good." Now it's Red Dead this time.
Yep. When the time comes.
Good. All right. That'll be good.
So I'm gonna rattle off some stuff here, though.
Go for it, Keaton. I've got more, so.
Yeah, so
I'm ready.
This is going to be a quick rapid fire because I'm just in my head. I don't think the new Forza by turn 10 will be shown, and I don't think it'll be
I said it was going to be Forza Motorsport.
I think
I put that on mine.
But the only reason why I don't think that, again, I was listening to some other podcasts and some other things around the internet and reading, is like, for whatever reason, Microsoft keeps pushing Dirt 5. Yeah, which is supposed to be release, sometime within the holiday window, and with the Xbox, whatever the news. And I just don't see why they would pit
Dirt 5. Yeah, because that's unfair. I agree with that logic.
So I just thought that was kind of interesting. But I think they might show it, but I don't think it's going to be
it's not going to be releasing, no. Which will be a big hit, though, because Forza is probably the premier racing title, just gaming-wise, on all platforms, in my opinion.
Yep, I agree with that. But the next thing is, based off of Forza, I think Playground Games actually do show Fable. I think a new launch for
there's going to be a new Fable 4. It's coming.
Who did you say was going to be the developer of it?
I said it's Playground Games.
I said it was too. I said Playground, and I like that logic. If they're not going to show Forza, then they'll have to show something. I think they'll show Fable.
Yep, and
I think that's what will close it out too.
Fable, and again, Fable is the same thing as Halo, though.
If it's not Halo, not Halo closing it out, it'll be Fable.
I think actually the release date or the price may be what closes out.
Yeah, that's true. I meant I think Fable. What I meant by that is it has to be a reinvention of itself. It cannot rest on Fable 1, 2, and 3. Like,
Yeah.
and the reason why I say that is because Fable 1, 2, and 3 was very cheeky. It was very, and honestly, like, Rare would have made the better game for Fable at this time. But I think by doing Playground, I think they're going to actually mature Fable. I think they're going to bring it to the table. This will be a different kind of art style. I actually think it's going to be almost steampunky within like a Victoria setting.
I would love that. That's a cool
cool
aesthetic. That separates it away because we already have the Elder Scrolls and all these other fantasy RPGs. And if you take away from that and do a different setting, I think that sets you apart a lot more and allows you to do more and be more innovative.
Yep. And I think, like, in my head, like, the vision is like almost like a weird looking London city. It's very steampunk, got airships and stuff.
Yes.
And I think it's going to be very grounded. And the thing that I think is going to happen, instead of choosing and making your protagonist, they actually develop a character protagonist. So that way they can tell a very narrative driven action RPG kind of game. You know what I'm saying? Instead of having, you know, kind
would
of
it be more like
stories,
more like Mass Effect style where everyone is Rider or Shepherd in the game?
Yeah,
you still get to the part of character.
For sure.
Yeah, I can see that.
Point. I would actually like that quite a bit.
Yeah.
But that's kind of my favorite prediction though for right now.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I think Fable and
agree.
Perfect Dark are pretty much a guarantee.
Perfect Dark, I'm not sure on, but
I think it is.
Yeah, I think so too.
I mean, they've been building that, you know. Hey, that's my puppy, by the way.
Yeah.
All right, so what else y'all guys got?
So besides Fable and Perfect Dark, I got gameplay for Everwild, Rare's game.
Oh yeah. What do you think that's going to be?
I want to see more.
Supposedly, it's a survival game.
But see, the only thing about that is you got Grounded.
Grounded is from
Obsidian,
right?
Yeah,
yes.
Which is first party.
Yeah. I don't know.
That seems strange to me for it to be a survival game by Rare. I think I love Microsoft, but damn, they really dropped the ball with Rare.
Yeah, they did, but the Rare kind of became a shell of itself after everyone left.
True.
Well, that's, by the way, that's my wild card. And yes, I got this from someone. I think because you've seen Crash Bandicoot, you're seeing Ratchet and Clank.
You think Banjo?
Yeah, I would think
and it may
Banjo's
not be
coming.
Rare, but they had that IP. I
Yep,
think some team is dropping Banjo 3. It won't be called Banjo 3, but
Banjo 3.
It'll be like
Banjo Tooie.
something. You know what I'm saying?
It was Banjo Kazooie, Banjo
Tooie,
and I think
Banjo 3.
Yeah.
Banjo 3.
I just meant a new 3D platformer, because who knows what it'll be called, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, like, we're getting Ratchet from Sony. We're getting Crash Bandicoot 2. And, you know, Mario and all that from Nintendo. So I do think that Microsoft needs that little cartoon type game. But, you know, that was my initial prediction. Then I looked up like what Rare was actually working on, and it said Everwild. I was like, that's by Rare? I had no idea it was by Rare. Yep. So I ended up looking up that. I think they might mention continued support for like Sea of Thieves or something as well.
Yeah,
for sure. I will say
now with new Connectable support.
Yeah.
If they drop a new Viva Pinata, I think it blows the show. Because with the way Animal Crossing took off, Viva Pinata is literally a tangent from that. You know, a deviation to some extent. And that would be huge to some extent. And if they can market that right, that could be a massive sell, man. Like,
all I remember from Viva Pinata was the cartoon. Like, legit, like, I never played it, but I remember the Viva Pinata cartoon that I would watch. I think it was on like Fox Kids or Kids WB or something. It was weird.
Yeah.
But let's see here. I've got Battletoads will have a release date finally. That's also from Rare.
Yeah.
So I think Battletoads, they've already said it was supposed to come out in 2019, and apparently it just never came out. So I think they'll give it a release date with launch or something.
Probably.
Say that it's on Game Pass or something. Show the gameplay.
That goes back
stuff
to
like that.
My thoughts that they've really been holding back until this release date.
Yep.
So that makes sense for me.
Yep. I think they're just going to keep throwing stuff at it.
Okay.
Another one I have is Cuphead DLC or Cuphead 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
I could see either of those. Or Cuphead DLC shown first, and then a reveal of Cuphead 2 right after that.
See, the only reason I don't think 2 is happening is because, if I'm not mistaken, the actual 2 creators of the game studio, I think, are heavily involved in the Netflix show. So I feel like
there's going to be a Cuphead Netflix show?
Yeah, they've already released.
I have no idea that.
Everything. Yeah,
I had no
looks
idea.
Really, really good.
I also did not know this.
Yeah, you can look it up right now. They got like a weird little trailer for it, and it looks awesome. They got the voice actors for Cuphead and Mugman, and it looks really cool. So, like in my head, I'm like, how long Cuphead actually took?
Yeah, because everything's hand drawn.
Yep, this DLC has been constantly like pushed back. I just don't know if a Cuphead 2, and definitely with the idea that a show's coming. So,
right. So you think it'll just be DLC at most?
Yeah, I don't even know if Microsoft owns the Cuphead IP either. Do they?
I don't think
they own the studio.
I think they own the IP. I think at least. Let's see.
That would be pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah. I've got one more, I believe.
Okay, I think I have one more if you don't take mine.
So
I've got 1,000 more.
Good. That's good.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been nothing but saying my predictions for a while. So I have, I said grounded gameplay. I said Hellblade gameplay, which I already mentioned. And then I've got Blooper Studio, the people who made Blair Witch Project. I think that's the company that they acquired. The studio they acquired.
Well, see, okay. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I would think Moon Studios would be, if it's not WB.
They said it was Polish, right? Didn't they say it was Polish though? That was the only Polish studio I could find.
Okay. Well, it could be CD Projekt Red.
That's true. That would be insane if that was it.
No,
I would enjoy that very much.
Because they literally just announced this year that they're wanting to do self-publishing and all this stuff. CD's not selling out, dude.
No.
No, definitely not.
Outside of Rockstar right now, and maybe let's say some Sony first parties like Naughty Dog, and I'll even say Santa Monica. Like, that's your big 4 right there: CD Projekt Red, Rockstar, Santa Monica, and Naughty Dog. Like that.
Man, how Bethesda has fallen.
Yeah,
man,
Bethesda
has been killing it, by the way. Well, I mean, Doom Eternal was great, but
yeah,
they had the anti-cheating
but you're right.
controversy.
Yeah, but the idea
even
of, like,
Valve has fallen, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, Valve is focused more on just Steam and having Steam sales and being more as a publisher. But I mean, they did show they still have the Moxie with Half-Life Alyx, and they are returning to that IP.
Put it on PSVR, you cowards.
No, that ain't happening.
I think that
they're keeping that exclusive.
I don't even know if it would. I know I was about to say I don't think it would run. Maybe PS5.
Maybe, just maybe.
Alyx.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I do think, because I don't think Bethesda will have its own event this year. They may piggyback off of Microsoft as a third party and show stuff for Starfield. I think that they may do stuff with that.
So here's the kicker about Bethesda, though. They already showed Deathloop and Tokyo Ghostwire at Sony. So I don't think they're showing Starfield and or the new Elder Scrolls, because I think they're going to keep that close to their chest for whenever it's ready.
Probably.
Because I was thinking that too.
Unless they get too greedy and decide they want to, because that's how they've been doing. But maybe they've learned their lesson and are taking their time.
Bethesda does, because they actually are, by the way, launching Fallout 76 on Game Pass tomorrow. So
I saw that.
They might have some kind of whatever, with this, announcement and some kind of intangent with Microsoft. But they've already said, I think Deathloop's a 1-year exclusive for Sony. And I think Tokyo Mirage, or whatever it's called, might be 1 year as well. So, I don't know.
Is Tokyo whatever thing, is that the cat game?
No, it's the one where, there's, ghosts in Tokyo and stuff.
Oh, okay.
It's hard to, if you remember it was at the Game Awards, the, young, I hope I don't get torn up for this if anyone hears this, but the young Asian girl came out, was super ecstatic, super jubilee, everybody loved her.
Yeah, I remember that.
She was the director, and then she got, fired, 4 months later.
Aww.
So, well, actually, she quit, but what's really interesting is she just posted today on Twitter that she had a baby. So maybe that's why she stepped away for a
Maybe
while.
that's probably why she did.
Yeah.
But regardless, that has nothing to do with it. So continue on. Sorry, that was another tangent.
No, it's good. That was interesting. So Wyatt, do you have any more predictions? You said you had one more big one. Or was it the Bethesda thing?
It was the Bethesda thing. Let me look. I don't know if I get out of Skype on my phone to look.
All right, so I'm gonna
cause it to lose. If I drop, that's why I'll be back.
Okay.
I'm still here. I'm good.
Well, I'm gonna fill in a bunch right here. So
go ahead.
Like, I think overall Halo is going to be the big marquee. I think they're going to show a bunch of teasers and new IPs going forward. And the IPs that are going to be shown, I think Obsidian shows their new IP. And what I mean by that is I do think it's going to be a new AAA RPG. It's not going to be Outer Worlds or whatever it's called 2. It's going to be something new, way more money involved. You know, maybe they staffed up. I don't know what it is. But supposing there was even a rumor beforehand because they have the Pillars of Eternity team. So maybe they were working on something prior, and I don't think this will be Pillars of Eternity 3 because they released 2. So I think they were working on a new IP in itself, and that's probably one of the big reasons why Microsoft acquired them, and they probably put more money into it. So I don't know if it'll be shown, but it's a good possibility that, because I think, in all honesty, Microsoft has to show kind of like what Sony did with the PlayStation, even though some of the games took forever to release, but they showed, I can't remember which E3, 16 or something, they showed, like, what was that, God of War, Horizon, they showed all these titles, and yes, we had to wait on them, but it gave the gamer, like, hey, these are coming. They're going to.
The thing is, though, like, when they did that, it felt like you didn't have anything to look forward to, because you're, like, already, I mean, there was, like, no, like, hype after that, because I remember there was that one E3 event where they showed legit 4 games. It was like Last of Us, Spider-Man, Ghost of Tsushima, and something else. But that's legit all they had. I was like, what? This is a shitty E3.
I just meant, like, because technically I think they're up to 15 or 16. And if they do acquire WB, which I'm just saying, man, I just feel like WB is going to be it. Because I think Microsoft has got to the point where it's just like, well, they got to get some market share. And I think if they get WB, I think it brings them 20 to 21. And we were talking about, like, the child game, by the way. So the team that creates all the Lego games, they would acquire that if they got WB. So perfect Banjo team, whatever you want it to be, perfect. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But I actually think Jim Schafer with Double Fine.
Tim Schafer,
sorry. That's who I think will be making either Banjo 3 or I know they're making something.
That would be awesome if they did Banjo.
I could see him splitting off. And
I could see him doing that too.
Yep, using that IP to create the next, whatever. So that's kind of like another kind of wild card. Yes. In Exile should be releasing Wasteland 3 this year, and of course I think it's going to have an update for. It's
supposed to be releasing in August, I think.
But
is it already out on PC, by the way?
No, it is not.
Are you sure?
Yep, positive. But
okay, because it's on my Game Pass on PC.
Yeah, like I have it pre-ordered on Xbox, but it's not there. But they also have.
Maybe it's just there because Grounded is on my PC as well. But I'm like,
same thing. Yep, it's not out yet either.
It's just a pre-order thing.
Right.
Okay.
But I think, like I said, I think they have a AAA game that they're working on supposedly, and they got more funding for whatever it may be. So that's going to be another big. So, I mean, you're just filling up a stable here. Now, will those be shown? Because I think those are pretty early. And I'm just saying, in Exile, and including Obsidian, like, they just got an influx of cash they never had before, and security. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, it's going to be different on their next project, because they're going to want to deliver above and beyond. And Obsidian, like I said,
think.
Yeah, continue.
Yeah, I think they'll probably continue with their Outer Worlds or IP with a sequel to that.
See, the only reason I don't see the Outer Worlds is because if you do Outer Worlds 2, like, I just feel like it would be messed up if you don't release it on PlayStation, but then you're kind of like, not devaluing yourself to some extent because you're still going to get money from it, but like, that's just weird that you're releasing a sequel and you're going to make it just exclusive, But here's the other.
Hey, it could be a Titanfall situation.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I think Sega and Microsoft have something up their sleeve. I don't know what it is, but I think because
don't do that thing where people are like, oh, internationally, the Xbox will be known as a Sega console so that it'll sell better.
Halo Wars, I can't remember what studio it was, but whoever made Halo Wars 2.
Creative Assembly.
Yeah, that's owned by Sega.
Yeah.
And that was exclusive. So I think Creative Assembly may be making or cooking something up, again, by Sega for the Xbox
I
One.
say Creative Assembly, no matter what they touch, do some good work. Halo Wars 2, Alien Isolation.
Yeah, so...
Oh, I didn't know they made Alien Isolation.
Yeah, they did.
Dang.
They went from making RTSs to one of the best Alien
games. That's why I was very confused.
Game.
Dang, dude, that's pretty awesome.
I was very surprised that Microsoft owned the Age of Empires people.
Yeah.
I didn't know that one was like a weird thing to me.
That was the one that last acquired. I think they announced.
Oh, really?
Game
Okay.
Awards. Yeah, I believe. But that's very PC, by the way. That's
that's what I was thinking. I was like, that's very PC.
Yeah, that's for the PC.
Yeah, very politically correct.
That's for the
not politically
PC Game Pass.
Which is also good for Microsoft as a whole, because Windows.
Yep.
That's true. So I think that's kind of, like I said, other than Obsidian, the NXIL. You already said the We Happy Few team. I can't remember.
I have 3 more things right now from my notes. I think we will see some gameplay for Medium. I think they're going to show off Flight Simulator, and I think we'll see some. Yeah.
I think the Medium team. Mm-hmm. Is that a team or is that a game? I can't remember.
It's a game, but it's not first party though.
Yeah.
Is Medium was by that Polish team that I just said earlier, wasn't it?
It may have been, actually.
Isn't it by
I think it is.
Blair Witch? Okay,
I think it is. That's the horror
you could
game.
Be like, yep.
Yeah. And I also think they're going to show some Minecraft Dungeons stuff.
Okay. Yeah, some Mojang stuff. I can see that.
Yeah.
If they show a bunch of like Mojang, including, because like I think they're going to have we kind of already alluded to this, but a 5 to 10 minute just sizzle reel of backwards compatibility, and it's going to show Minecraft Legends, it's going to show Minecraft, it's going to show Fortnite, Apex Legends, Call of Duty Warzone. It's going to show
all the battle royales.
Through,
Yep. So all the massive multiplayer games right now are going to be day one. You can get it on Series X, and if they go for most of them are free anyway. But I mean, with the smart delivery and everything, they're really pushing to be able to upgrade for free your games.
Yeah.
Like they're going games first and hardware first, kind of like they're not cutting any corners, to be honest.
So here's the next question, though.
Okay.
I just think to see this as a possibility. You're talking about cutting corners and all this stuff, but does Microsoft have a Marvel franchise?
No.
That they're holding on to?
Nope.
No.
You don't think so? Oh.
Nope. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying they don't currently.
I was thinking one of the big ones in my head is because the Coalition, which makes Gears of War, Gears of War 5 I think was a phenomenal game.
Yeah,
but Gears kind of needs its own break too. And I was thinking maybe that team was already working on something, and then they're putting their full force. And I wouldn't mind, not mind. Of course, I'd love to see it, but I wouldn't doubt seeing them come out with either a new IP, existing IP, because I was actually thinking it's a possibility that they may be working on Perfect Dark, and the initiative is working on either a new IP or I still think in my head it would be crazy. The only IP I think that could really, Marvel saying, and I just think is X-Men. If somehow they came out and said, we have X-Men and this is what the Coalition, or not the Coalition, but the initiative is working on a new X-Men game.
Right.
And then it shows multiple play characters from all the way from whoever.
Cyclops, Wolverine, Gambit.
Now that would be
basically
really,
X-Men
really
Legends.
Yeah.
Which I loved playing when I was little.
That's a pipe dream, by the way. I don't really think that's going to happen. That's my pipe dream.
Yeah.
I could see the only reason I didn't say you said they were named Coalition, right?
Yeah. Which is because
Gears just came out is the only reason I didn't put anything on here that they're working on.
Yeah, they've been showing Gears 5 running on the Series X.
Yeah,
their demo game.
I could see them being in a sizzle reel and be like, "This is the Xbox Studios, blah blah blah." But I can't see them actually having anything to show just yet.
Well, they may show Gears Tactics.
Yeah,
day and day release because Gears Tactics already released on PC and actually got pretty good reviews. So it's a possibility that Gears Tactics will be console, release. the day the Xbox One or the Xbox Series X, whatever we want to call it, comes out.
Yeah.
But I actually think it should come out earlier, to be honest with you, and then just have an upgrade to the new console. But
well, they said didn't they say all the Xbox exclusives were going to also be on Xbox One for 2 years, something like that?
Yep.
Yeah. They're going to continue to support the Xbox One.
Which is not dumb, because I was reading this kind of really interesting article, and it was actually from a dude who used to be a game developer, and he mentioned how the PlayStation, supposedly the SSD that they're creating in there is proprietary to them, but it's supposed to be really, really, really good. Yep. But he was saying though, it's kind of like what happened with the PS3 when they went with the core. All of a sudden, you make this proprietary kind of tech, but all of a sudden, the rest of the world, 80%
it's hard
of the world
to develop for
doesn't use that.
Yeah.
Whereas the Xbox Series X is supposed to be high-end PC style,
which
would be easy to develop for.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he was saying.
And that's the whole thing they pushed for, like I said, how the developing kit is pretty much the Xbox One, so they don't really have to relearn anything. They built the console more for developers, really.
Yep.
To give them the best hardware that they possibly could for a console.
I remember when the PS3 was out, and there was always so many people complaining about how hard it was to develop for. I remember even Valve was like, "No, we're not even touching that system," because we tried to make shit for it.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That was the age of PS3 has no games.
No, it had games. They just weren't as notable just because people were all on Xbox 360.
Yeah, they were.
Well, PS3 and Xbox pretty much 360 finished.
PS3
sold by the end of the day, man. So
PS3 finished with more units sold.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, it was pretty much maybe a little more than Xbox 360, but it was very similar. But I think Xbox 360 had red rings, so you had about
that was the thing. Point. Yeah, Microsoft had saw the red ring and all that shit, and they're like, "Yeah, we're never gonna let it overheat like that again." Because I've recently seen a bunch of in my recommend on YouTube, a bunch of PlayStation fanboys have recently started buying the Xbox One X and started playing with it. And one of the things they always say though is how quiet
it is compared
to their PS4 Pro. Yeah.
Well, I think if I'm not mistaken, the One X is liquid cool, right? To some extent.
From what I've heard.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's not. That's why it doesn't sound like it's a jet engine flying off, because it doesn't have a giant fan having to suck in air and cool it off.
I can see it.
I know we got to kind of wrap things up too, but
the
only thing that keeps in my head is the mic drop moments that Phil Spencer kind of you said alluded to, and other than because just no disrespect, but Halo is not going to be too much mic drop moment because everybody sees it coming.
It's not.
I don't even think Fable would be unless it really, really shows out. I think Elden Ring, for instance, if that became a thing, that would be, because there's a lot of From Software fans out there. There's a lot of fans out there that love that kind of Dark Souls.
I still think they would want to end it with a first party title though.
Right, but
regardless.
We kind of alluded to this earlier, but I think the mic drop is the price. I know it sounds crazy.
Yeah.
I think the Series X comes in at $400.
I agree. Yeah.
I think they are going to sell it pretty dang short, because I think they really want to gather market share, and they want to also sell the service of Game Pass, and they know they can catch up if they can just get the consoles out. So I think this will be $400 and $200, and that's the mic drop. And I think at that point,
there's also the rumors that you can take your Xbox and run Windows 10 with it and use Microsoft Office on it, and they're going to market that for college kids. That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard.
Yeah, that's I don't know.
Because it has built-in keyboard and mouse support.
Right, but
but so is PS4.
If I was an Xbox, I would stay away from that, because that's
I would too. That's what ruined the Xbox One.
Yep, they try to do everything.
Yeah,
I think they have to come out and say hey, we're here for the entertainment. We're here to make the best games possible, and we want to show you that. I don't think they should do anything along the lines of, by the way, it's going to be Kinect enabled, and you can dance on it or whatever. Like, I just think it needs
I'm not saying they're doing the ridiculous stuff like that. I mean,
Yeah.
I think this is a better direction than what was the Xbox One, which is like you can plug your TV into it and watch your TV plug through the Xbox One for whatever reason, which was just absolutely stupid. This is just like, if you want, you could use Microsoft Office on this.
Dude, I enjoyed laughing at that conference so much.
It was bad. Thank God Phil Spencer is now.
But I will say this
over everything.
Some more mic drops because in my head, because everything like I said, it's hard. I think Microsoft announces some kind of partnership with either Valve or Oculus.
Yeah, I've heard rumors of partnership with Valve.
Yeah, they show up, and if it's Valve, and they actually say we're going to allow, because the Series X can run, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And Half-Life Alyx will be on Game Pass when blah 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 VR releases in 2021. You know what I'm saying? That would be a pretty big get.
Yeah.
So like I could see that being a mic drop moment. I know they're kind of holding off on the VR and all that stuff, but I just thinking that that's another one that could be like, out of nowhere, we're jumping in, let's do this. That's kind of it, man. Like I can't think of, like I said, other than we went through the majority of all the.
We've covered pretty much everything.
Yeah.
I know for sure they're going to have some third party developed, at least 1 year exclusives.
I think Call of Duty will be there just to show off like new game, not exclusivity or anything. Maybe. I mean, I guess I don't know if they're going to do paid DLC or anything.
Well, I mean, Activision's contract runs out every year, so I mean, it'll be up for Sony or Microsoft to grab it, and Microsoft has been willing to pay a lot of money recently, so.
Yeah, I think they will reveal like Black Ops
unrelated
or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't think Call of Duty comes out this year.
You don't think so? I do.
That game
they should continue to support Modern Warfare. To be honest,
Modern Warfare has been killing it, and that game has always shown in May and or latest June. And it's been this long without seeing it. And Sledgehammer already had development problems. Treyarch had to take it over. I think that game might be in a little more danger than most people think. And I know it's a console release, but with Modern Warfare doing as good as it's doing, I don't know. I just kind of feel like it's a possibility.
Just continue to support it. I think that's a good call for them to make.
I think Warzone will stay around. As its little standalone thing, but I think that they'll just update the map to be more in line with whatever the Call of Duty is that comes out.
They just announced, I saw this article the other day that they found, files from data mining that there was a zombie mode from the Warzone map.
Yeah.
That would be
awesome. They've got loads for Modern Warfare still to do.
Yeah, there's a lot that they can do within that platform, and give Treyarch some time so they're not rushing. Because I hate to say it, like Call of Duty can take a day off. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it can.
It doesn't.
I'm sure they're making plenty. I'm sure they're.
I love that phrase
from Warzone.
Yeah.
And Battle Pass.
Call of Duty can take a day off. I love that phrase.
Yeah, they can.
Fits so well.
You're right.
Yeah.
You are very right. But I do think they'll show something soon.
By the way, regardless if they acquire WB or not, because the only other event that's coming out after the fact, other than Gamescom, and maybe some online. I don't know if they said the Tokyo Game Show would have online, but that's the only reason why I think, even if it's Game Pass, like I think WB is going to show up to some capacity for the show because they got to show their games.
Seriously, like we have gotten nothing. I predict every predictions cast that we do. I predict a Rocksteady reveal. And nothing happens. Warner Brothers Montreal teases for 5 months and then reveals nothing.
Tanner's just like, my disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
Was, WB was supposed to have an E3 show, so they missed out on it. Sony pushed theirs out. This is the moment. Now again, Gamescom could be one. So like maybe Gamescom is like the Rocksteady reveal, and maybe the Batman reveal is on the Xbox show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I also think Square Enix has quite a bit to show too, because there's a bunch of rumors with the new Final Fantasy 16, being out there. So but that would be Tokyo Game Show. I feel like if they do something.
Yeah, that would be more Japan.
Well, yeah, because there's quite a and there's stuff we're missing out right now, because I know there's 16 studios, and we probably only touched on 12 or 13, but I can
Yeah.
think some of them are so obscure they don't really make like big stuff, Like
Well,
for
I'm
instance,
thinking like Microsoft Studios.
Yeah, like Mojang, for instance. They're making Minecraft, so it's going to be dungeons.
What irks me though is why does it take so long for a Minecraft update? Like, it really shouldn't take that long for Minecraft, in my opinion.
You
Like that
really
game,
wouldn't think.
you really wouldn't think it'd be that long between just adding some new biomes, which would just look like it looks like everything else, just a different color. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
it's like modders make cooler, more complicated stuff than Mojang does far quicker.
Now, as we wrap things up, by the way.
Yep.
Because it's getting pretty late. I know we got to here. I'm just going to throw this crazy wild card out here, which I know they say is not going to happen, but I think it's a possibility.
I say, okay, let's all throw out one random wild card, and then we'll end the show.
I don't think I have one.
Just come up with something really stupid, Wyatt.
Okay.
I think Halo is going to be a 4-pillar game with campaign, arena multiplayer, co-op, and I know they said they're not going to do it, but I think they're going to do a battle royale.
What is this?
I hope not. I hope
Halo,
not.
yes. But no, check this out.
Okay.
What if it's just the Halo? It's a little Halo. It's not the big giant one, but let's say, and you can literally, if you're on one side of it, and if you're looking at a, horizontal, you can see the people in front of you. But if you look vertical, you can see the other end of the Halo, and you can see people there. How sick would that be?
That would be really cool.
Then you can get your Warthog and ride all the way around, just make this massive spherical, like, Battle Royale / Halo, 100 players, you jump in and have a great time. Like, I think that would be really wicked. And, like, I think it's dumb for, at one point, the biggest first-person shooter in the world. Now it's not. Call of Duty's for sure. And then Fortnite, honestly, is probably the next biggest as a third person. For them not to jump in on the biggest game mode there is for those games, which is Battle Royale. I know they said they don't want to do it, but like at this point,
if they're gonna do it, that would be cool. Like I admit that fact that Battle Royale on a Halo ring would like that, and I think with the Series X they definitely have the technology to do that.
Yeah, I think it would be pretty wicked. Like just big enough, and I don't know. I think it would be really cool, and that's just my way out there. I know they said no, and that's why I said that. Battle Royale Halo to some capacity. So,
all right, you want my way out there one now?
Yep, let's hear it.
All right, I made this same prediction for the PlayStation conference, and it didn't happen. So we're getting the Harry Potter game from Rocksteady at the Xbox conference.
Well, it's not going to be Rocksteady, but I can see it maybe being maybe.
I mean, who else would it be? Who else would it be, though? I can't think of any studio at Warner Brothers that would be.
They already said Avalanche Studios. Who did Disney Infinity or whatever.
I can't see that.
Well, it's not. I mean, Rocksteady's not going to sit there and do a Harry Potter game. Like,
I hope Rocksteady's working on Justice League.
Well, they did Suicide Squad, and they said the actual title got rumored and leaked, which was like Death of the Justice League. So it was Suicide Squad, Death cool. And they said, and this was actually on our boy Sacred Symbols podcast, and he mentioned how this was all rumor, but they were talking about speculation. That it's a hub-based game, and you are like, let's say, multiple member Suicide Squad, and it's open world, and you see the hubs of where all the heroes live, and you tackle them one at a time as you kill them. So like you could have this hub, and it's an open world, and right across the river is Gotham with Batman, and then you have Metropolis, and then you have whatever it is, some kind of port with Aquaman, and then like you can use whatever characters. And make a party and take them out to go take down. But who knows if that's a thing or not. Like I said,
that'd be cool.
Rocksteady, by the way, is insane. It's been since, 2015? 2014?
Well, Montreal has been since freaking Batman Arkham Origins.
Yeah, it's true. But I think Montreal had a lot more, turmoil.
Issues.
And,
yeah,
so.
I swear they had like a Superman game and they just canceled it.
Yeah. All right. So, do you have anything?
You got a wild card?
You left me with too long of a time, so I have two.
Go for it.
These are way out there. Reveal for GTA 6 dropped at the Microsoft event.
Dang.
And
that would be
my
nice.
final wild card.
Yep.
Knack 3, baby.
Yeah. At the Microsoft event where
At
no
the
one will
Microsoft
expect it.
event.
Of course.
No one expects.
Of
Yeah,
course.
well.
Of course. All right, so
Now-
that was the
Whoa,
Kirby
whoa, whoa.
Brothers podcast. Okay, fine.
You
Fine. You
gotta
keep
give me that
telling
real
me.
quick.
You keep
Yeah,
telling me.
yeah.
Wrap it up, and then you go, whoa, 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 whoa.
You gotta give me that. The mention of Knack 3.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if you, not Sony, but if you see some kind of Nintendo relationship, something released. Because Nintendo, for instance, Banjo is a Nintendo now, Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Cuphead and Ori and the Blind Forest both released on Nintendo Switch.
I
So
could
it
see
would
Ori,
not
Willow, and the
be-
Wisp on Switch, but I won't think it'll be at a Microsoft conference.
I'm just saying, I'm saying Nintendo does something for Microsoft. And what if, I know we keep bringing up Banjo, but what if Nintendo is making Banjo 3 for Microsoft?
Ooh.
What it, and that's what I'm saying.
And it's
I
like a
wouldn't be
cross,
surprised.
like a cross-platform. Okay,
Exactly, it's Nintendo and
I
Microsoft.
could see that.
Just
Yeah.
see that.
Or
Definitely.
even maybe Master Chief drops into Smash finally, and he's actually he's the first character reveal of the
Awesome.
next character pass.
That
You
would
know
be
what I'm saying?
nice.
Like
Yeah.
I feel like don't count out Nintendo and Microsoft having something to do together because first of all, Nintendo has been really quiet and there's a lot of stuff that's supposed to go on. So
Yeah.
who knows? Maybe the whole new Mario HD games will actually release on Xbox. I don't know, but I'm just saying they're being super quiet. There's going to be some news coming out. I actually think the Ubisoft conference. I think you're going to see them announce a new game for Nintendo. It might be Mario Galaxy Kingdoms 2.
I hope
may not,
Rayman 3, a new Rayman platformer.
Yeah. But I was just saying that's my last one, and I'm good now.
All right, good deal. So
All
I
right.
hope you enjoy listening to the Kirby Brothers podcast. I hope you enjoy the Xbox conference. Keep track of all our predictions. Let us know who was right. Wyatt, thank you for joining us on the podcast. I'm really glad
A
we had you
pleasure.
here.
A pleasure.
Yeah, you're welcome back anytime. Keaton, thank you again
Would
for
love to
joining
be
me
back.
for this episode. And be sure to like, comment, leave us a review on all of the podcast services, and do all that jazz. But we thank you for listening, guys, and have a great rest of your afternoon.
Bye,
Awesome.
everyone.
Bye.